Welcome to Meeple Podcast, Season 4.
Today, with us, a Portugal team member. Portugal is out of the World Tinkers Online Championship 2023 because Spain won the match against them at the quarterfinal. At the end, the last game to close that match was between Glovir and Stroncio, only 3 points up for the Spanish player. Good the victory to our national team. I suppose it's a bad memory for our guest. Bem-vindo, Guilherme. How are you?
Hola, Joaquin. And hi, everyone who follows the podcast. I'm doing great. Thanks for asking and thanks for having me.
You are 20 years old, so young.
Well, I started playing board games quite early on with my parents, and I guess they stuck with me. I'm hopeful that more and more young people will start to become interested in board games to spread the hobby even more.
What about that moment, waiting for the last curve? That tile was at the end the movement we needed to win the match, you know?
Oh, I know it all too well. I must admit it was very painful to have come this far, only to lose to those dreadful tiles I got at the end of the game. But I congratulated my opponent for the good games, and now I'm waiting for the next Team Top competition to show once again what the Portuguese team is capable of.
It's so difficult to know you are the best player in your team to finish the match. The result depends on you. What were your feelings at the time?
At the time, I didn't know I was playing the decider for the whole quarterfinal. I only wanted to play the best I could and, hopefully, to win the game for me and for my team. I can't say that my heart just dropped when I realized that my game was the decider and that we were out of the competition. It was a very, very surreal mix of emotions.
You all have an incredible team. Bicudo, a boy, Margarido, great captain for Portugal, Osnofak, the runner-up of the Mind Sport Olympiads 2023, and other great players like Grabaca, Mestre 77, Priscus, Paiva, Sport, Ceteris.
Indeed, I feel like our team grows every competition we partake in, and that new talents keep appearing year after year.
I'm sure there are more valuable players out of the Portugal team. You are a great community.
Yeah, that's a part of our success. We are very fortunate to have a great board game community and to have very dynamic people who like to organize events and competitions for everyone to enjoy and improve their games.
I was looking over your profile on BGA. You are an expert on Azul, Hadara, Cacao, Kingdom Builder, Stone Age, Santorini, and you have a good level of some of the games. You are a man with a brilliant mind, of course.
Oh, thank you. When I find a game I really like, I could spend days only playing that game and little else. So those are just a few that got more of my time than the others. But the main reason behind all those and other games I play is again the dynamism of our board game community, especially due to O Maior da Minha Aldeia tournaments, which translates to the greatest of our village. It's a very similar event to the MSO Grand Prix, but the tournaments are played in turn-based mode. They usually last for 3 to 4 months, and we have a medal ranking, a tournament standing, and a global tournament point system very similar to the MSO one. These are very fun and challenging tournaments only for the Portuguese community, that this current season alone, the 10th season, had over 180 players competing in about 150 tournaments. So this explains why I became proficient in so many games.
What was the way you knew the board game arena platform?
It was after I found out about the Catan and Carcassonne national championships, because of one of the Maior da Minha Aldeia, MMA for short, organizers Paiva, who told me about these tournaments as were played on Board Game Arena, and so I joined the platform to compete in them as well.
What do you think about Asmodee being the new owner of this important website from the pandemic to right now?
I don't really have any strong opinions about it, but as long as they keep respecting the player base and delivering new exciting games to the platform, I'm happy about it.
Recently, Gregory Isabelli has left the BGA team. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I saw the news. It's always a bit sad when one of the founders leaves the team, but this was a very well-planned decision, I feel like, and now Gregory is free to pursue anything else he wants to do. So I'm happy for him and wish him the best of luck.
Many people want to improve their level on every game, but it's so difficult. I come from chess, and it is usual around the players' community to learn reading books, using computer analysis programs, etc. What could we do to grow up as an expert player? What's the way to be more competitive on Carcassonne?
Playing more games against stronger opponents than you is a great way to improve your own playstyle and to learn new strategies. Specifically about Carcassonne, I think that reviewing our game is a very strong tool to know where your weaknesses are and to know what you need to improve in the way you play. But I also think that studying the game more deeply, like the chess players do, is definitely needed to reach the very top, if you want to go that far.
Do you think you have a chance to win the next national championship in your country?
I do think I have a chance to win. The main obstacle is that many players also have chances to win. So I guess I just need to be in a good day and to play my best, and maybe I can go home as a new national champion.
Would you like to visit Essen one day?
I definitely would like to visit Essen one day, hopefully to also partake in the World Championship.
What's your favorite style in the Carcassonne game? Blocking your opponents, building cities, occupying monasteries, being a thief on roads, farming the fields?
I'm a road and incomplete cities, ruins I call them, kind of player. But I also like to block, especially if it comes with a tempo. Like everyone else, I like to play whatever gives the most amount of points at the moment. Except for the fields, they're a bit too volatile for my taste.
I think the theory of the majority of meeples is the best strategy to win against everyone. What do you think about spending our resources around the Carcassonne landscape?
It always feels very comfortable to be the one with the meeple majority, but I've learned ways to play while being at a meeple disadvantage as well. Meeples only score points if they are being played, so I don't shy away from playing my meeples.
I visited Lisboa a few years ago. It's a wonderful city. What do you tell to the audience to convince them to visit the capital of Portugal?
I'm glad you liked it. Lisboa is a city with a lot of history, and as such, with a lot to share from the views to the food. But Portugal is so much more than a capital, so if you want to visit another time, or even the first time, there are a lot of good options to choose from.
A new question. Guilherme, tell us about that interesting event on Maior da Minha Aldeia. You have talked about some questions before. I think it would be something we can also imitate in Spain.
Yeah, it is certainly something you could do in Spain as well. Nowadays, these are seasonal series of tournaments open for any Portuguese player. You can play in how many tournaments you wish, and at the end of each one you get some amount of points for your placement in it. The points from the 10 most scored tournaments are tallied for a global score that determines the winner of the season. But this is just the way things are now, and since I only started playing the 4th season, there is lots of history I wasn't there to experience. So you should definitely reach out to people like Antonio Paiva on Board Game Arena, to get the point of view from someone who has been in the organizational side of things. What the kind said for certain is that from its starting day till now, the goals of Maior da Minha Aldeia have been the same: to unite the Portuguese board game community, to share experiences between players, to create bonds between them, to help everyone improve their level of play in the tournament-style environment, and to embed a friendly competition spirit in every single player. These have been the objectives from the start, and I believe in them with all my spirit.
I wish the best of luck to you. I expect Portugal to meet Spain at the WTCOC next edition, but in the final.
only in the final indeed, or even at the finals of the next European Championship. I would like that very much as well.
Gracias por aceptar la invitación de Meeple Podcast. Thanks to for accepting the invitation in the Meeple Podcast.
Thanks again for inviting me, Joaquin. It was a genuine pleasure to be here, so bye everyone, stay well.
Thanks to the audience. See you in the next episode.